Hello everyone, welcome back. I've got this cute little mini junk journal that I'm doing that I'm kind of doing with my scraps because you guys have seen my previous video. I've used this collection and guess what? Now I literally just have scraps left along with some cardstock scraps. So it's a pretty simple junk journal and it's really tiny, as you can see, like pocket sized. I didn't do anything crazy with this. It's literally, I'm just going to show you the process of my scraps and stuff. And I'll probably just do like one of these pull-out pages that I've come up with that just have like little pockets. But really, it's just honestly a simple album I did with my scraps. Nothing crazy. And I obviously have to fill these pages. And I thought maybe over the summer we could do a junk journal because I have had a few requests for junk journals. I just have not done it yet. And the last request, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. So I am gonna do this with my scraps. So, and then, oh yeah, you can see I used a little bit of vellum in there too. And I'll just kind of give you guys the measurements from this. So let's start with the cardstock. You guys, it is already blazing in the South. I don't know everywhere else in the country, but the 90s. Okay, so this is going to be my cardstock. Oh, getting a little blurry there. My cardstock is 5 by 8.5 inches, which is basically because I cut the top of my paper. It's 110-pound weight. You could use any weight, honestly. It doesn't really matter. And then I'm just going to score it at 4 1/4, which is just directly in half, just to give us that little hard cover. So we'll just kind of start with the cover and decorate it since that's the easy little fun part. And my son has been playing tennis in this weather and it has been so hot. I feel bad. Like I was under the pavilion one day. Usually I just kind of suffer with them, but you know, they're kids. They're built different, right? All right. Ooh, I kind of messed that one up. Let me just, I'm corner rounding this with my corner rounder, which I kind of messed up, but, and then that's just going to be our cover. So I think I'm going to ink this after, but for the little pocket right here with my scrap, this is just a 3 by 5 inch, and you can see it's just, you know, one of the little pieces that I had. So I'm just going to kind of tear that, and that's going to give me my pocket right there. I'm just tearing a little bit off because I want kind of a deep pocket. So it's going to line up here, and I'm going to corner around this too. So I put and I'm going to corner around this again, you guys, just on this outside edge here. So inside, I've got my little Temu pad thingy. Of course, you can use anything, but I mean, this pad for reference, I used to have the size of it. So for reference, it's a 4 by 5.5 inch pad. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm getting this from. And just gonna pick out a sheet of paper here. And I'm just gonna do this here. And it doesn't, you can obviously tear this, but I'm going to just kind of tear mine right there. And if this bugs you out, you can always use scissors. And I'm gonna keep that little scrap too. So again, because this pocket's going over that, you don't really have to have all that. You could probably cut this in half, but I'm just gonna go with it and glue it on there right now. Just to make it so the video's not extra long. Some of you guys like those shorter videos, and honestly, I do too. I get a little nervous when it gets really deep in the video, and I'm like, oh, I'm running, I don't know. It's just, you don't know what kind of camera problems you're gonna have, you know what I mean? Or you know who wakes up. I don't want to say the name because that will happen. And for those of you who are new, it is a dog, not a baby. All right, and I'm going to glue this pocket on. Just remember to leave that little, this side open. It's going to be your pocket. All right, and I'm going to just ink this up a bit. I'm going to use the color I always use lately, which is the Vintage Photo color. And I did order some more colors that I want to use this summer. I just haven't received it yet. So I was kind of hoping I was going to get it before this video, but my package got delayed, so just going to have to wing it here. And so I just kind of burnt this, and the tears, I definitely, oh goodness, I did not mean to do that. I didn't realize how much ink was on there. I know some people rub it in, but I guess it looks just like an old coffee stain, right? So I do that just to break up that tone right there. And we need a little tab, which I'm going to use my tab punch for that. You can use a die, whatever you have. I gotta find, I want to see if I have any more of this left, and I do. So I've got this here, which is just another little scrap. And my paper here is two-sided, so I'm going to take this and use the back side of it, which is what I did with this album here. They both look nice, but kind of just wanting to show a little bit more vibrant edge here. So I'm going to put that right there. So see, it looks amazing already just from using some of my cardstock scraps and these other scraps that we got going on. I typically, by the way, love to do, and you guys know I do, is the glitter. So I want you to see if it was like the glitter, how pretty it would look. But I'm gonna go outside the box today. I'm gonna use this. And I did add a sweet little sticker from this collection, so I'm gonna do that. And I just added it right here, or I guess right here. And I'm going to ink that up a little bit too, just so it's not so in your face. I also have a sticker on the bottom. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I put a little sticker. And it doesn't have to go there, obviously. It's fine, but let me just see. I just like that it adds a little extra to it. So I'm going to put that on there with some of my foam tape. And just put that on. And I'm going to ink this just a little bit too, because it's got those white edges and I want it to blend in a little bit with that. So there is our cover. Okay, so let's do the inside, which, because, so just know that, actually let me do this part first. So right here, I'm going to just pop this on. This was just a little die that came with that kit. And did I do a cover underneath? I'm pretty sure I did. Yes, I did. So I did take some more of my little Timu paper pad, which is over here. And let me see if I can get that pretty newspaper thing going on. I do not see it, but I'm going to grab this one because I like it. And I'm going to add that on here. And again, just, and if, honestly, let me show another method. So I'm going to just like fold mine because I know how much length is there. And then you can tear it that way. And this paper is really thin. So if you don't have it, then if you have like scrapbook paper, I don't recommend you do that. This might be a little longer, but I can cut it. Okay, that's going to fit just about perfect. So I'm going to add this as the background just to kind of break it up a little bit. You could also just ink it. You don't really have to do this, but I kind of want a little background to show in the back. So I'm going to put that right here. And then just put that on top. I feel like I am covering it. But that's all right. And this you could even make like another pocket if you want. Like if you have some sort of die this big. If not, you can just stick it on kind of like I am. So it looks like that. And then I am going to ink it a little bit again. just around here. And it's okay. This side's gonna get covered up, so don't worry about that. And I do like this part to be a little darker, so I try to come in here and just brush that up there. And we can do the same in the back. I didn't use a dye in the back because I ran out. So I'm just going to find something here. This one looks perfect for that. And I do like that newspaper vibe. I'm just going to try and tear it along right here. And I don't mind that it's torn a little because in the back here, I've kind of done the same thing. And just glue that on. So it's definitely a scorcher today. After this, I'm probably going to bring my little guy to the library. And then maybe pick up dinner tonight. We don't really do that often, but it's just one of those days where I'm like, I'm okay with it. I really am always disappointed when we eat out now because it's just not the same quality. So there's that. And then of course you can do the back too, which sure, let's just do the back and see how that comes out. I'm just kind of going along this pad. Sorry, I could see it better. I don't know if it's my left-handed brain, but I turn it. Sometimes I notice, like I said in a previous video, sometimes I turn things upside down or something when I'm doing cards. I read my deck upside down, and I almost feel like I do that with this. See, it does not have to be perfect because all we have to do is just hide it with that ink. I think this would be great for printables too. If you have any printables and all that, this will work out great. Okay, and I'm just going to ink that up again. So at least we did that part, right? That was easy, and we just kind of took our little scraps and papers and things. So next is going to be our paper. So this part is even easier. Now remember, our album, the length of this is 8.5 inches. So you want it to be a little shorter. You don't want your paper to be 8.5 inches because what's going to happen is when you close it, it's going to kind of push out. You see? So you see how this is just, so if you're like new to junk journaling, because this is a great beginner album, this is going to be a little shorter. So at my measurement, so for instance, just maybe cut it about 1/2 inch shorter. So my papers are going to be 5 by 8 inches. So again, this was, so you can see just kind of like reference and eyeball. So if you're not doing this size, you can get a little drift. So I've got just like a layer of paper here. I have a piece of vellum and I have like 2 more sheets, which you can obviously stack this up, but I'm just going to leave it like that. So I'm going to just do this, and this is so easy, especially if you're new. And I'm going to, hey buddy, I'm going to put this clip on, just especially for a newbie. I usually don't use a clip because I'm brave. So I'm just gonna punch 2 holes here. So I'm gonna do this way so you guys can see what I'm punching. So I'm going to punch just one on the top, on my little crease right there, and I'm going to punch one right on the bottom. And you definitely want your little papers in there, right? So your papers are there. And now I'm going to take some of my twine. Holy cow, there's a big mosquito in my room. I think it's one of those daddy long legs. I don't know how he got in here. And just loop this in. So if you're a beginner, I mean, this is really easy. And I've said this before in other journals. It's like, it seems very intimidating when you're doing a journal. And it can be, don't get me wrong. I don't do like crazy thick journals because the binding kind of intimidates me. But something like this, you can use more than 4 sheets of paper. But because this is kind of mini, you just take it and like tie it just like you're tying your shoe. Except pretend like you're tying your shoe like a 5-year-old and just double knot it without the bow. That's all I did was double knot it. And I'm going to add and just do that. And I've got little nail polish marks all over it again. So when you close it, and then you have this easy little album, right? And I'll do like a little page with you guys, like I did inside mine. And the nice thing about this is when you tie it like this, it's not forever. You can always slip it out, or you can add more pages. So obviously here is pretty easy. And remember I said to save that little scrap that we had, like any of these, because when you're tearing it, you can just save it and add it onto your bottom of your pages, and it will really just like add a lot to it instead of it being plain. And I'll just show you a little sample here. Oh my goodness, I love this flower. I think we have to use this. So I'll just pop this on here. Let me see, just kind of down here. Let me put that flower there, and I'm going to add this right here on the bottom. So yeah, keep all those little scraps. Put that on here. You don't need any washi tape. You can just kind of do that. And doesn't it already just make that simple white page so much prettier? So we've got I just wanted to show you an example of that. And of course, I want to do this. I'm going to do some tea stained paper maybe tonight or tomorrow. And so I don't have to like ink my papers. But if you don't have tea or you don't drink tea, I don't drink tea, but my husband does. So luckily I have some tea bags, and you don't want to like waste your money on just getting tea bags. But they have some relatively inexpensive ones, probably at like the dollar store, or coffee grinds if you're a coffee drinker. I'm already too hyper. I don't need any of those, you guys, naturally. So, but if you want to, you can just like ink the edges, and it'll be like inked, and you'll even get some of those other pages when you're doing it. So there's that. And let me do that just fun little quick flip page with you guys. So I will do this page, and let me know if you want me to fill this up with you guys. We can do like a part 2 where we just go to town, and maybe I can start filling these other pages up so you get some inspo. So to keep this kind of easy, I'm going to just take another 5x8 paper, which is what we used in the album. And I'm going to make our little pocket, which is really easy. So, I mean, this one I'm just eyeballing. I'm just going to take it and do this, right? Because that's where we want our pocket to be. I'm going to fold it in. And I'm just going to fold it this way. Or, I'm sorry. That was the way I was originally going to do it. Fold it up to here. So you've got this like accordion thing going on. So here I will take a smaller punch just to give me that extra pocket. And that's going to be right in here. Oh, I see what I did. I didn't make the pocket deep enough like that one. That's okay, so it's not going to be perfect. But it depends how deep you want your pocket. Like as you can see, that one is a little bit deeper. So I'm just going to glue this on and leave that top open. So you have a pocket right here. You make this pretty little journal, pocket page pull out thing. Oh my goodness, I'm not at the edge of my paper. Okay, so you see how you have that little pull out. And then when you close it, you'll have this other pocket option. I should have probably done like a little slip like that, but I just left it. And like I said, this is probably the part if you want to tea stain it or anything, so you don't have to like distress it like this. Whatever's easier for you. I'm just going to do it just so you can see, because it's a little hard to see the camera, the paper with the white on it when you're doing this. So I'm just going to roughly kind of go around this. So you can see I in fact do have a pocket, and I'm going to seal that. Just ignore that part. It'll cover up. If you want to add the thumb notch, you can. Ooh, I made that a little crooked. There, I fixed it when I pulled it up. And you can see it has a little pocket right there. Let me see if I can find a pretty little thing that goes on there, just like the other one. Ooh, this one looks fun. And I used foam tape. Did I use foam tape? No, I didn't, because this is going to be inside the album. You want it to be a bit flat, you know what I mean, when you're closing it. So, I mean, you could just even do so much more there, but I'm just going to leave it. And then inside, I had done just some more like page rips. It's amazing. Every time I open this, I feel like I find a new page that I didn't see before. But I want to kind of get that creamy color because it's the color I like. Some of them are a bit too warm yellow toned for me. So I'm trying to see. I might just have to say forget it and just pick one. Okay, I'll just use this one. And here it's obviously too big, so I just kind of tore it off a little bit. And tore it again here. So yeah, you can see how with our scraps we can do so much in our little journal. Or a little flyer. Like a mail flyer. And so that looks obviously not that nice, right? But all we have to do is just ink this up a little bit. And it will just blend in with the page. Okay, maybe I did that part too much. So see how I mean? I wanted something a little lighter because I wanted more beigey. I almost want to like cover it with something to fix it. I have a little sheet here. I don't know, just to layer it, but I'm just going to leave it. And then I've got this pocket. And this is just, you know, you can tear whatever you want, but I have this scrap here. Let me see. Kind of go like this and just tear it. And that's still a little too big. I'm gonna try and get around that. I should have done the thumb after, but I don't think it would fit. I'll just do this one. And then the flower, of course, from my kit really adds a little bit to this too. Because this is pretty bland, just the papers like this. I mean, that's fine if that's what you like. But I do like a little bit of color in my life. Sometimes. So I'm just going to grab one of these. I need a little color here. I love that yellow that I used. Let's see if one of these go. So yeah, that one's definitely calling my name. This one right here. Before I put on top, but this one definitely looks better on the bottom. So I'm going to place that right there. And then you have this little, you know, little pull-out thingy, if that's what you want in your album, just to add some zest in there, right? And let me borrow this just to place some things. So anyway, I can keep going on and on with this, but I think this is pretty good for now. What did I do here? What is this? Oh, it was pretty plain. Okay, it was pretty plain. I just haven't inked this side yet. Like I said, I really need that tea stain paper, so it would save some time and stuff when I'm doing this. But anyways, this is my easy breezy scrap, I guess, beginner junk journal. And yes, I put all those things in the title because I don't know what to say, but I want you to catch that phrase if like you're looking for something like, you know, beginner junk journal or whatever, playing with your scraps and stuff like that. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And again, let me know if you want me to fill this up with you. I will definitely do that. I think it would be fun to make some cool pages and sort of fill these up with little, you know, tuck-ins and things like that. All right, guys, thanks so much.